Good enough? Cool.
Because I know that, yeah, I know that this, but I really enjoy it. Yeah, it's funny. Well, think about the number of times in the other synagogue, in the other school, when he was throwing out a new carpet.
Oh, yeah. But we had to watch the recording later.
Oh, it was just, I mean, everybody got such a kick out of that. Why would you be mortified? I mean, come on. He added a lot to the service. He did.
He was going to rebel against
You know, that's what my wife said. My wife was a yeah, that's not gonna happen. Hey, you're back home. I'm going with you.
My oldest one registered.
Okay.
I couldn't find Pennington or Woodley at the time, so.
No, Emily's not named after
The only college trip I could find.
We're sure people lost in memory. The school.
No, yeah. You won't ask me for anything else, but tell me that. Okay? Sure.
Yeah?
Sure. You look cute. Why wearing yours?
I know. I know. Oh my God, it's my idea. It wasn't very smart. Right?
The three that are in college are out of house.
I know. You know what?
And then my high school is actually applying to free schools right now.
Well,
Because I
that
said you
was
have to be done
you know what?
by Sunday because you have to school after that and you're not going to do it.
Next year we could be able to take children.
We're just talking about it. Do them all. Have them all.
Yeah, it should have been.
Parents,
do that like the
kids.
end of May, early June.
Yeah, and combine them, college and high school.
Yeah, I was.
All you have to do is write to the school, you can buy a teacher.
No, but it's true. Oh, yeah, I couldn't tell my friends. They bring their kids. I'm too old. I said, well, they're in their 30s. So,
Yeah, the spring one would be good for high school and college. Because you do it now. Something is not going to go on in the apply for the school. So that's a little touchy. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like,
And you're not even been around for 20 years.
He was in theater for years. For 10 years, I put his name on he was always in theater. He traveled all over the country to work. Oh yeah, he's been there. He's been there as part of it. He also does the performance for Charles Dickens.
Hello, Sarah.
The Almighty staff is on top of specifically as you well know, the novel there's a guy who just won the National Book Award for a book that came out in and he tells a story of him. It's good to know this guy. It turns out he actually was very well educated from libraries and nationals and all this slate put out. It's interesting how it's interesting how this wasn't like I said exactly the three of us what we call Swaniac Jake.
You know, I was freaking out.
Hey. Nope. Really? Good time of the year to do it. With Matthew? Really? You know, if there was ever anybody who came out of Hollywood oh, perfect. You know, I've given him tips when I share this and back and forth between them. It's really funny to do against his favorite. He's so hey, welcome back, Amy. Did you have a good time? Happy New Year. I'm sorry? Oh, really? You guys want to see this? Is it a introductory nap for you? Although at this point, introductory
sanctuary is way too quiet. I need to hear more than feedback. I think that you know this one. Here we go. Shalom. Hey. Shabbat shalom. Hey. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Hey. Shabbat shalom. Hey. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Hey. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome, everyone. I'm Rabbi Brent Gutmann here for a brand new year. Everything all right? You don't know what's happening with my pack. Okay. I'll let you hang on to that as I give my announcements, and maybe this will work here. I don't know. I think the tap is on mute, and then I'll turn it on. All that feedback happened. So maybe. Oh. I'll let the professionals do their job up here. Again, like I said, I'm Rabbi Brent Gutmann, and so delighted to see so many of my friends here, familiar faces, and folks that I have not seen actually before. Welcome. So good to have new visitors here with us, and we hope that you find here a community that's warm and embracing. Welcome also to those of you that are joining us on our stream online. I want to take just a second as he's working on my technology that we can check our own technology. If you brought a phone with you today, I'll do this too. Just make sure, if you could, that it is on silent for the service. If you need any sports updates from your college team, well, I don't think there's any games going on right now, but just make sure it's on quiet, you know. Or if there's a big cheer, make sure that the cheer is for Shabbat here. Wherever you want to put it. Sure, strap it up there. In case it should be needed, there is an exit just directly behind you onto Delaware Avenue, or behind me straight out the door that most of you came in through the parking lot. Or, of course, there's an exit right onto the Barker Street side to the left. Bathrooms, I know our building is under construction right now, and it can be a little bit confusing, but you can find the bathrooms just behind me to the right, and the ones on the left nearest to this part of the building are still up and operational. Okay, perfect. Yes. There's also all the needed essentials first aid stuff is on the left side if you're coming out this door. God forbid there is a need. It's a new secular year here, and so we should enjoy a new song. Every day is a new opportunity, and indeed the day for us starts in the evening in the Jewish world. And so I'm going to encourage us to turn to page 344, right to the back of your book, where we will begin today with a new song. Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. Let's sing unto God a new song. Shiru Ladonai Kol haaretz. Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. Shiru Ladonai I will sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru haaretz shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz shiru shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. I will sing unto God a new song. I love it. Now I got you singing. See, we figured it out. This is a participatory congregation, and when we come to pray, we don't just observe the prayers, we add our voices to it and enrich our worship space. And that way we get to actually lift everyone up. We get to elevate ourselves during this special time. And as we seek to elevate ourselves, we make this day holy. We consecrate it with special sacred light. And so I'm going to welcome our friend back here, actually not so frequently. We get her in the middle of the winter, but it's such a privilege to be able to welcome Sharon Townsend to help us with kindling our Shabbat candles. We turn to page 2 in our books as we rise for these blessings. Amen. Well, it would have been an honest habit here because we just had Hanukkah. Wish you strength, Sharon, and may that light fill all of our lives as we can have a seat once again. We call this moment Kabbalat Shabbat, and Kabbalah literally means to receive. We receive the Sabbath like an old friend that we're so excited for, who we haven't seen all week long, and so we have this moment to appreciate, to enjoy together. We're going to continue with that idea, with those words of welcoming the Sabbath. Lecha Dodi, page 20 in our prayer books. Ya la 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 chadori, ya la 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 di katkala, ya la 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 b'nei Shabbat mekabel, ya la 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 chadori, ya la 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 di katkala, ya la 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 b'nei Shabbat. Shabbat Kabela Shamor v'zahor v'diborecha Hishmianu el hamiuchad Adonai echad Shemu tiferet v'litila Ya la la ya la 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 kadori Ya la 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 nikrat kala Ya la 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela Lidali krat Shabbat Mehuven elcha Ki mekol habracha Merosh mikedem מעשה במחשבה תחילה. יא לה לה, יא לה 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 לחדוני, יא לה 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 לקראת כלה, יא לה 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 בני שבת, בני שבת נקבלה. Verse 5, התעוררי, התעוררי, כי העורף אורי אורי, אורי אורי, תדברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. יא לה לה, יא לה 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 לחדוני, יא לה 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 לקראת כלה, יא לה 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 פני שבת, פני שבת נקבלה. And we rise and face the rear of the sanctuary to welcome the Sabbath. Boi v'shalom, ateret bala, gam b'simcha, u'sochola, toch emunei, am segula. Boi kala, boi kala, ya la la, ya la 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 lechadoni, ya la 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 likrat kala, ya la 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 b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekabel. Ya la 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 lechadoni, ya la 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 likrat kala, ya la 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 b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. We continue with our prayer, the Chatzi Kaddish. You may be seated, page 26. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon u'vyomechon, u'chayedecho beit Yisrael, b'gala, b'gala, u'bizman kariv, Veimeru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Leolam Ulo Mehamaya Yitbarach Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh V'yithadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shemei Dekudesha Barichu Leila Min Kol Berkata V'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata damihiram be'alma ve'imeru. Amen. We rise for the call to worship, the Baruch Hu, on page 28. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Barechu et Adonai Hamevorach Continue with our prayer for the evening, page 31, together at the top. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. We continue with our prayer, expressing that we too are part of creation and that God's love for us is eternal. Page 32, Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Hukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shokvenu, Hukumenu nasiach bechukecha, Nismach b'divrei Toratecha, U'b'mitzvotecha le'olam ba'ed, Ki hem hayenu ve'orech yameinu, U'ahem negei yomam v'layla, negei yomam v'layla, Ve'avatcha al tasir, Mimenu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael, Ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. You may be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha V'dibarta bam, b'shivtecha b'veitecha, u'v'lechtecha v'derech, u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha, u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha, u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, u'v'hisharecha, Leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kiroshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem Emet. We continue responsively on page 39, our prayer for redemption. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilo, oseh leolam va'ed. Machutecha ra'u banecha, bokea yam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze'elianu ve'amru, ze'elianu ve'amru, Adonai imloch leolam va'ed. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Torah Oseh Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect. The song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children in the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. It's been quite a start to the new year, wouldn't you say, with what happened just a few days ago. And so ever present in our prayers and in our thoughts, especially during this difficult past period that has been for us, our prayers for peace and a hope that our world will see more peace in this new year than it started with. And among the words in this book are some beautiful words that express that sentiment in this next prayer, which is really asking for protection and safety, for security and shelter for all those who feel unsheltered in a turbulent world. We'll go ahead and continue at the top of page 43 with this little ditty, Let There Be Love, by Noah Aronson. Let there be love and understanding among us. peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu Leshalom, V'hamidenu Shomrenu Lechayim, Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha, Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu Leshalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporeh sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. We continue blessing this day, our sacred heritage, the Shambru, page 44. Ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam b'ritolam. Ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam b'ritolam. Beni uven b'nei Yisrael be'oti le'olam, oti le'olam. Ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam b'ritolam. Ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam b'ritolam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz. Ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam b'ritolam. Ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam b'ritolam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam b'ritolam. Ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Very spirited. Beautiful, beautiful. We're going to be moving very spiritedly into our Amidah, the main prayer of our evening service. It starts on page 46 and will be together all the way through page 52 in our prayer books. At that point, each of you is free to complete the Amidah however you choose. If you want to use the words of the book, English or Hebrew, the rabbis teach us both are acceptable as long as the prayers come with the sincere intention of our heart. It concludes on page 63, this section in our books, but whenever you're ready, you can continue seated with your own personal meditation. Currently, though, we do rise as the Amidah is the standing prayer as we continue with the words Adonai Sifatai, asking God to help us pray with sincerity this evening, page 46. La 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Adonai, Sifatai Tita. Fihi yagid tehilatecha Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'konei hakol, v'zocher chastei avot v'imahot, u'mevi gola limnei b'neihem, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, בחייה כל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, בחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמנת לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. who are still praying, please feel free to complete your prayer on your own time. When you do, we're on page 60. Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav Yisrael Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lecho hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lecho hashalom. Shalom Rama Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rama Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol et ubechol shah yishlomecha. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. We take a moment here for prayer. We include, of course, those prayers that are most urgent in our hearts, and what prayers are more urgent than those for individuals that we care about, that we love, that are in our circles of concern, who are in need of healing. So in this moment, we offer a prayer for healing in full awareness that there are so many people being thought of in our congregation, and then by extension, how many more people there must be who are in need of healing in our world. Each week we gather names from our community to be read for healing, and I share those names, after which I offer to you the opportunity, if you'd like to do so, to add the name of anyone you're thinking of, that they can be included as we create one great prayer. This Shabbat we have on our list for healing Judy Block, Eileen Braun, Lana Briner, Heidi Preskar, Sue Chazen, Donna Zuba, Kimberly Del Dago, David Froman, Selena Gar, Donald Hammer, Mara Hassan, Eric Robert Coonan, Gail Lewis, Dr. Ann Lidsky, Jerry Lidsky, Charles Mueller, Kim Murphy, Joanne Robb, Robert S. Reisman, Charlene Ross, Brandon Ryan, Ronna Schultz, Cheryl Gigi Spire, Enjo Tufts, Tammy Van Way, Mark Yablin, Chaya Fora Bat Miriam, Lavi Ben Louise Kimchi, Malka Bat Chaya Hanachaya, Pinchas Ben Malka, Rashkel Shendel Bat Miriam, Reuven Ben Shirley Gabriel, Sarah Esther Bat Malka, and Zayat Bat Diana. If there are others that are being thought of, now is your time if you'd like to add them, either here in our sanctuary or from the comfort and privacy of your own home.
Michael Saul, Charles Saul, Debbie Saul.
I'll add to all those names mentioned and the many more that go unmentioned, all those injured in the attack on New Orleans this past week. We turn to the words found in the back inside cover of our prayer book, words by Lisa Levine in this prayer for healing, the Mishabera. Mishaberach Avoteinu, Avraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov. Mishaberach Imoteinu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, veRachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer. Bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May the pain and loneliness we're feeling be diminished by the power of your love. Mishaberach Avoteinu, Avraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov. Mishaberach Imoteinu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, veRachel. May the ones who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. If I needed more luck with the audio today. It's okay, Jackson and Julian are still going to make me sound good, I'm sure. You know, I was really concerned as I was taking that guitar off that I was going to knock my hat off. But of course, that didn't happen, and that might be a sign. I'm so grateful. I'm going to mention it here. I see a lot of college regalia here in this room. Folks who are sporting their alma mater on their sweatshirt, or there's another hat here, which is always good to see. But more than that, I'm grateful to the ritual committee who actually came up with this really brilliant idea of being able to designate tonight as College Shabbat. And it's a real treat for me to be able to sport my own cream and crimson college colors. And for any of you who don't recognize this symbol up here, Indiana, IU. I was a student at Indiana University in Bloomington. And even more so, I'm going to use this as an opportunity. I don't tell a lot of personal stories from the Bema, and it seems appropriate, since you want to know why I'm wearing the funny hat, to be able to share a little bit. So with your permission, and I'll do one better. I'll even connect it to this week's tour portion. How's that sound? Okay. So it was decades ago in August, just before my parents began their freshman year at college, that my grandpa Ted gave my mother the wise wisdom. He said to her, go to my fraternity, go to AE Pi, and find for yourself there a nice Jewish boy. And as you could predict, it happened to be that very night that my dad met my mom. My dad must have seen something that he liked in my mom, because true to his personality, even then I'll say, At the end of the night, although he didn't have a car himself to offer her a ride home, he forced his way into the back seat of his fraternity brother's car, who happened to be driving her to her dorm, and sat there and tugged on her seatbelt the whole time just to make sure that she didn't forget that he was in there with her. And from that point on, he took it upon himself actually to appear at her dorm every single morning promptly at 7 o'clock, because they had a rule back then. You had to be out of the frat house by 7 a.m. if you were a new pledge. That way you were forced to get to know the campus. So in that way, from their first meeting, even before classes started, my parents became an item. And shortly after graduation, they were married. As they say, the rest is history. I entered the world just a few short years later, followed by my younger sister and brother. And so I grew up with IU very much in my world. I grew up, I should say, not too far from Bloomington, Indiana, and Dayton, Ohio, just across the Indiana border. And as a child, my parents really took it upon themselves to introduce me to IU culture, to what it meant to be a Hoosier. They took me to the Little 500. For those of you who aren't familiar, that's a famous bicycle race that's held every year in the spring at Indiana's campus. And they taught me about the importance of following IU's basketball team. Back in those days, it was Bobby Knight who was the coach, and they were certainly more to watch at that point. And it became a focal activity, I'd say. And I'm kind of still shocked that this year we had a pretty good football team to watch too. So I guess I'll have to pay attention to that from now on. No wonder I followed their legacy, and I became a Hoosier myself. And surely I'm guessing as I share these stories about my own connection to my university, I'm guessing that there's some similarities that some of you are feeling in your own college connections. For many of us, college, simply put, is a place where we can discover ourselves, a place where we can figure out and craft our own character, our sense of who we are in the world. College is a place where we can experiment and explore our identity. And while the American college experience, Greek life and sports, dormitories and so forth is really not actually that old in the context of world history, certainly nothing compared to the scope of Jewish history. I think college life in the United States, or at least what we think of culturally, as it really only goes back a little over a century. There is precedence for such programs that go back further in Jewish culture. For example, we could consider that in the late 19th century, quote-unquote, fresh air societies, as they were called here in the United States, one such existed here in Buffalo. They began springing up around the country with the purpose of being able to acculture young Jewish immigrants to the United States through camping experiences, giving rise to places that eventually would become Camp Centerland or Lakeland or Seneca Lake or Camp George and others that I know many of us are familiar with. Centuries earlier, if we go back further, Talmudic yeshivot began to develop where young men would be sent to be educated and accultured in a safe and secure surrounding with other fellow young Jews and teachers. And going back even further, ghettos and shtetls began cropping up all over Europe, where Jews could build their lives protected from the pressures and the persecution of local non-Jewish populations, but also where Jews could select an environment to be around others like them. We even discover one such impetus in this week's Torah portion. See, I told you I'd get to it. In this week's Torah portion, Joseph's brothers and father, they finally make the decision to move their families once again, and this time to Egypt, where Joseph, who has attained a position of power and prominence as the vizier of the Pharaoh, can offer his brothers, his father, their families, protection and opportunity as well. He informs his brothers that they should be prepared upon their arrival to be summoned by Pharaoh himself, who will ask them, "What is your occupation?" And Joseph instructs them, he tells them that they should respond, "Your servants have been breeders of livestock from the start until now, both we and our fathers. So that," Joseph says, "you may stay in the region of Goshen." Goshen is in the delta of the Nile River. That's to the north in Egypt because the Nile flows from the south to the north. And Joseph adds this explanation. He says, "Tell Pharaoh your shepherds, for all shepherds are abhorrent to Egyptians." It's an interesting comment, isn't it? There's a remarkable number of insights that we can draw from this. Joseph, in a way, is the first Jew to grow up outside of a Jewish community. Such an experience likely exposed Joseph to the perceptions and reactions of the non-Jews. Last week, I can draw us to a similar comment that points to this trend, where the Egyptians are described as placing Joseph's brothers in a separate room when mealtime comes, because we're told that it's forbidden for the Egyptians to eat in the presence of non-Egyptians. Rabbi Harold Kushner, he's the rabbi who's well known for the book that I'm sure some of you have read, When Bad Things Happen to Good People, which was about his experience losing a child. He comments on this detail in this week's portion to tell Pharaoh that they're shepherds, in saying, we can see this passage as reflecting the healthy self-esteem of a people raised in their own land, in contrast to the concern of diaspora Jews as to what their neighbors might think of them. Joseph, despite his prominence and power, does not seem completely secure about his place in Egyptian society and finds it necessary to conceal part of his identity. At the same time, however, we can appreciate Joseph's sensitivity to the feelings of his Egyptian neighbors. Growing up in a large Jewish household, Joseph's brothers likely lacked the experience of their uniqueness. Through most of history, external pressures have limited Jews' ability to mix with the surrounding non-Jewish populations. Laws mandating unique dress and professions, as well as places of residence, have long pushed Jews into residing among other Jews. But there's also internal drivers which lead to this experience. Among non-Jews, one is more exposed to temptations that diminish Jewish culture and undermine Jewish values, and therefore to seek out internally a place where one can feel as themselves is very powerful. To find a place, call it a college, a place where one can go to be with other people who are all pursuing the same goal as oneself, is a powerful experience. So too, if we think about this from the perspective of parents, because for many parents, there's a fear of exposing our children to negative influences, and these fears are significant. How many of us have feared, us who have children, that they might hang out with the wrong crowd, or that they might lack the judgment to make safe decisions that come with a fully developed frontal cortex? Yeah? Yet, we should also know that sheltering our children can create other issues. Helicopter parenting, so-called helicopter parenting, can insulate children from the experience of failure and thereby leave them unprepared and without adequate grit to overcome those challenges when they arrive. On the other hand, if we're being honest, college campuses these days have become places where many young Jews feel less safe and more challenged to maintain their identities as levels of anti-Semitism have risen. This makes being a Jewish parent exceptionally difficult as we seek to prepare our children for a world that is often callous at best and antagonistic at worst to our very existence. Yet again, is it not our hope to position our children that they might prove more able to bring about a just world? Australian Rabbi Elisha Greenbaum asks, is it the ideal position for a Jew to be locked off from the world, isolated in a self-imposed ghetto? We're tasked with being a light to the nations, and we can't do our job if we stay home and hibernate. On the other hand, many will argue that it's not healthy to send one's child to a school where not all the student body are similarly inclined. So who's right? The internationalists or the isolationists? Should we stay home and play with our own ball, or accept risks of playing in the game out there on the street? As I share Rabbi Greenbaum's question, I'm left with further reflections on my own college experience and ways the experiences of today's college students have become even more pronounced. My own experience at Indiana University coincided with 9/11, with September 11th, 2001, as well as the Second Intifada in Israel. This experience was particularly stirring given a friendship I developed with a boy named Danny Farahan. Danny was a Persian Jew, and through getting to know him, there were lots of benefits. I attended my first Sephardic-style Passover Seder, which I'll say, if you ever have the opportunity, definitely accept the offer. But I also experienced with Danny my first pro-Israel rallies on campus. Upon graduation, Danny made the brave decision to move to Israel. He joined the IDF and served in intelligence. At least that's what I know. From that point, I'm sad to say that we fell out of regular contact. That was until I learned tragically in 2013 that he took his own life after an apparent struggle with mental health. And so I reflect on Danny, my friend, and pray that his life is always for a blessing. In a week where we began a year with not one, but 2 terrorist attacks committed, I note, by individuals who both experienced, we should assume, mental health challenges, who both served in the U.S. military. And I make this comment and have this reflection 2 days before I myself will be returning to Israel for the first time since October 7th. In such a juxtaposed situation, I really can't help but remember and think of Danny, who passed away some 11 years ago. He was truly one of my closest friends for a time at Indiana. Just today, an article was published by Seth Mandel in Commentary Magazine, which raised the issue of mental health among Israeli society. Mr. Mandel refers to the IDF's own statistics that 28 Israeli soldiers are believed to have died by suicide since the start of the Gaza war. Now, the longest war since the founding of the State of Israel. He writes, Israelis aren't blind to the mental health challenge posed not just by the war, but by what started it. Scenes of inhumanity reminiscent of the Nazis. In September, Israel's health minister, Uriel Bussow, warned that Israel was facing the largest mental health event the state has known since its establishment. All of which is yet another reminder that October 7th, 2023 caused a seismic change in Israel and the Jewish world. We here in the diaspora and those Jews in Israel carry a significant stake in how this conflict ends. It's clear that Israel cannot be any safer than any college campus without the capacity to defend itself, just as Jewish American college students cannot be kept safe without the effort of those meant to protect them and keep those who harass them and threaten their safety accountable. So too, while we not only discuss these issues, we have to also be proactive in ensuring safe spaces where our children, like ourselves and our ancestors, can safely explore and express our identity, just as we know it's impossible to shut ourselves off from the world entirely. Although at this point there are certainly more questions about what the future will bring, I'm sure that together we can create a safe, supportive shelter here in this community. And I'm glad to see that back with us for our College Shabbat are several of our college students among us. It means so much to have you here. It means so much to continue this relationship. And I pray that whenever you're home, whatever situation or place you are in life, that you can find a welcoming, hospitable, safe, and protective environment here at templebethzion. Surely, God has made us strong too. And so, whatever challenges there might be in the world, here's to hoping that Jews and Israelis will carry less of a burden at the end of 2025 than we do at its start. Or at least that we might get to see while we're carrying it, our favorite sports team win a championship. Go Bills. May we all find a way to explore and grow. May we all find a way to feel secure and embraced and loved. May this sense of security not shelter us from the challenges that are real in our world, but may they empower us to use our best of ourselves, our best intellect, our best heart to go and make our world a better place. May this be God's will. Can you hear our song? With that hope, it is our obligation, our sacred responsibility, that we all have a part in the repair of our world. And this is the very sentiment expressed by the concluding prayer, the Aleinu, in our service. So we'll go ahead and welcome our friend, our trustee, Sharon Schwartz, to help us with opening our ark as we rise and turn to page 282 for Aleinu.
Shabeach ladon hakol, Laleot sebreshi, O asanu kigoye ha'aratzot, O samanu, ot adama, O samchel kenu kahen, O raleinu, O hamona, Orim,
Melech Malchei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Page 284 towards the bottom, 3 lines. Litaken olam b'malchut Shaddai. Together we must heal the world. Litaken olam b'malchut Shaddai. We must all work together, because we are all the children of Adonai. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai v'melech al kol ha'aretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. We must all work together, because we are all the children of Adonai. Wish you strength, Sharon. Shkoach. You may be seated. Our thoughts turn to all those individuals who once were members of our congregation, friends and family of members of our congregation, those who we knew and loved, who imparted lessons of value and blessing upon us and who have become our sacred remembrance. We think of them along with all those of our people who gave their lives for the sanctification of God's name, as well as those of every race and nation who lived so as to be a blessing for humanity. This week we are in a period of Shiva, in the week following the passing of our member Donna Yablin, and we continue to extend our thoughts, our condolences to her husband Mark and to all of their family. We think as well of those taken this past month, our past president Ralph L. Halpern, as well as Noah Nadler. We continue to send our condolences to Ralph's children and Harriet, as well as to Noah's parents, Dennis and Sue, and his mother Sylvia, as we hope that this period brings them comfort. This week also contains the anniversary of the passing of the following individuals: Jacob Amder, Sylvia Ash, Irving H. Block Jr., Paul Borens, Harold Brock, Dr. Irwin Cohen, Betsy Stovruff Corin, Ethel W. Desmond, Philip S. Epstein, Shirley Feldman, Ruth Morris Field, Martin M. Fleischman, Harold J. Fogel, Aaron S. Friedman, Samuel Gandel, Richard S. Gordon Jr., Albert A. Hannaford, Dr. Sidney S. Hannaford, Helen Ip Hurwitz, Lena Michaels Jaffe, Louise Ullman Kostick, Sarah Kuttner, Edmund Lazarus, Joseph J. Lenzer, Siegfried Levi, David B. Levi Jr., Elmer I. Levy, Melvin I. Meyer, Teresa Henschel Myers, Lenore Miller, Jonathan Howard Miller, Esther R. Morrison, Beatrice Moser, Dr. Russell J. Nissengard, Lawrence Oppenheimer, Ethel Lee Rosenblum, Edith Rubin, Alvin Rutstein, Estelle Rutstein, Leonard Sadkin, Nathaniel Scheuer, Jacob Shisherman, Daniel E. Scudwick, Rose Kellner Slutzer, Alvin S. Small, Morris Seide, Clifford M. Swadron, Melvin Tasman, Justice Jacob Tick, Eli Tishman, Martin Wernoff, Eugene Warner, Wayne D. Wisbaum, and Louis R. Wolkin. If there are others, those joining us are thinking of for Kaddish, for the mourners Kaddish, and I've not yet shared their name, I welcome you to add it at this time. once again for all those killed this week in New Orleans, as well as the many whose names go unmentioned. We pray Zikronam Livracha. May all of their memories be an abiding, enduring blessing for us. As we rise to turn to page 294 and recite according to our custom the words of the mourner's Kaddish. Yit Gedal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah Be'amad Yivrach Hirutei v'yamlich Malchutei B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael Ba'agalah v'zman kari v'imru Amen Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mevorach le'olam u'lomei amaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal Shemei d'Kedusha b'richu Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'imromav, hu ya'asei shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May God send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, as we say, amen. You may be seated as we take a moment for some brief announcements. There'll be more blessings in just a second. We welcome our trustee, Joni Shatkin, to come up. Where's your college gear?
I know. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. And
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to Temple Bethzion out there, and everybody here. We have some new faces and some new visitors. It's nice to see you. My name is Joni Shatkin, and I am on the Board of Trustees of Temple Bethzion. Thank you for coming to our first special college Shabbat service, and we'd like to welcome all our students home for winter break. Tonight's Oneg Shabbat is sponsored by Michael Borns and Bruce Small in honor of the yahrzeits of Paul Borns and Eldon S. Small. We also will enjoy a special celebration by a special birthday cake baked by Errol Sull in honor of all the January birthdays and anniversaries. Before I continue, I have a few announcements and I've been asked to share. Last month, the Sisterhood Book Club got canceled, and so it's going to be this Thursday. Everybody is welcome. The book is The Forest of the Vanishing Stars by Kristen Harmel. Newcomers are welcome. Please RSVP to Cindy Stover. The Aleph Champ is back in 2025. If you haven't seen it, I've seen it. It's a fun way for your kids to learn Hebrew. The sessions will resume at Broder January 9th and at 805 Delaware Saturday on January 11th. If your student is in grade 1 through 7, sign them up because it's a really terrific program to learn Hebrew. On Thursday, January 16th at 6 p.m. is the next TBZ Brotherhood Adventure, and it's a wing tour. For more information or to RSVP, contact Brotherhood President Michael Adler. Sounds like fun. Only for the guys, huh? Okay. Join us for the Martin Luther King Jr. Shabbat, Friday, January 17th. The Young Family Shabbat service is at 5:30, followed by a Shabbat dinner at 6:15. Please, if you want to come to dinner, please RSVP. And then the Martin Luther King Jr. Shabbat Evening Service will be at 7:15, featuring the guest speaker, Pastor Michael Badger of the Bethesda World Harvest International Church. The new session of I Engage, Israel's Milestones in Their Meetings, begins on Wednesday, January 22nd, 10 a.m. at the Broder Center. Registration is required. If you have any questions, please contact Beth Steinberg, beth@tbz.org. Please check out the printed service program, the TBZ Bulletin, our website for more information about upcoming events, classes, and other TBZ news. Thank you.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Brotherhood Wing Tour is intended for Brotherhood members, but we will certainly share our notes on those wings. of course, there was a little plan for a wing tour after services tonight. If you are interested in going with a group to the Anchor Bar, I'm going to ask, can you raise your hand real quick just so we can see how many there are? Just one? Might be too late, I don't know. That's my daughter, Daria, in case anyone's wondering. She's always up for chicken wings. There's a story there, isn't there? So moving to Simchas, let's start here by saying, any January birthdays or anniversaries, please stand up. Oh, cool. We've got an anniversary there with Sharon and Ryan, it looks like. And a birthday, oh my gosh. And we have another one whose actual birthday is this very day, isn't it, Miss Lila-Rena? Come on up to the bima. Come on up to the bima. So our first set of honorees here. And another January birthday. January 18th, that's true. How could I forget that one? I better remember it. I think we're taking a trip on your birthday. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
It's your anniversary, doesn't roll. Oh. He's Mickey.
Okay, so we'll have to do this blessing at a distance then. Say that I pray that this trip around the sun for these two lovely members of my own family and this beautiful couple, happy birthday as well. Does that mean you get 2 chocolate bars? Sure. That it's full of blessing and goodness, that your lives experience sustenance and health and wellness and all good things. Mazel tov, double mazel tov, mazel tov, mazel tov. Siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, mazel tov, siman tov. Take one for Levi. Mazel tov, siman tov, yehelanu, 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 ulecho Yisrael, yehelanu, yehelanu, ulecho Yisrael, yehelanu, yehelanu, ulecho Yisrael, yehelanu, yehelanu, ulecho Yisrael. Mazel tov.
Love you.
Love you too. Love you too. Love you too. All right, next group of honorees. Could I have all the college students that are here visiting us? All right, visiting or staying. You too, Amy. Yes, absolutely. All right. Oh, we talked about what a complicated time it is to be a college student, a Jewish college student these days. But I think let's go ahead and rise, and we can step up here to the ark as I'll offer you this special blessing. We are so glad, as I mentioned, that you came back to TBZ. And so let's pray, especially during this difficult time, that, oh God, protector of Israel, when so many members of our Jewish community are feeling afraid, isolated, vulnerable, and targeted, we humbly ask for your mercy, guidance, and help. Bless our students here and on college campuses near and far. Protect us from vitriol and bigotry, from ignorance, hate, and violence. God, source of wisdom and understanding, make our institutions of higher learning places where we can engage without fear and disagreements for the sake of heaven. When we argue with others, with members of the Jewish people, or even with you, help us to always choose our words with care and kindness. Grace us with empathy and humility so that we might stand up proudly for what we believe in without vilifying or dehumanizing those with whom we disagree, recognizing always that you created our fellow students, colleagues, and neighbors in the image of God as well. Amen. So good to have you back here, Amy. Welcome home again. Welcome home again. Good to have you, Theo. All right. We are almost there, and And I don't know if those wings are tantalizing to anyone that I mentioned, but we'll go ahead and have a seat as we pray. Certainly we need, we can never have too many prayers for peace or pray for peace in too many languages. And so we're going to take this moment to finish our service off right where we were a moment ago with the Mourner's Kaddish. The Mourner's Kaddish, a prayer for mourning, always ends in a prayer asking that God, who makes peace on high, bring peace to us here. And so we'll continue closing with those words tonight. Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom. Oh, did we not do challah? Yeah, we should do that. Amelida Weinman, come on up and help us with our challah here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. See, even rabbis forget things sometimes. We turn to page 5 in our prayer book for the blessing over wine and the blessing over challah. Did you get the words? You got it? Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh, zecher letziyat Mitzrayim. Kivanu v'acharta, beltanu kidashta, mikol ha'abim, v'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava uvratzon, hilchaltanu. Cover our challah. Strong stuff, huh? That's how you know it's good, when you get that kind of faith, right? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. didn't go to enough parties as an Orangeman? Orange winner? Oh, okay. Fair
I don't
enough.
fit into any of my college gear anymore.
Oh!
And I don't have a hat, so.
I'd like to welcome Deborah Goldman to play our postlude for us as I say shkoach to Melida for leading us in that blessing. Jackson and Julian, thank you for helping me out during the service when all was going sideways here. And to our incredible staff and all of you who came to be a part of our service. And welcome back again to Theo coming back to visit us. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Testing, 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 testing. Check it. 1, 2. Hey, yep, 1, 2. That sounds fine. Checking, checking. Hey, yeah. 2. That's, you see what I'm saying though? Like it was down here. I'm still feeding back. We can still hear it. Yeah, check, check. Hey. Yep. That just check. Check. No. I knew you were muted, so I was gonna like say something, but, then you clicked it, and that happened. Check 1, 2. Hey, 1, 2. No. Check 1, 2. Check it. Okay. Well, that's just high. Now it's just loud. Yeah. And I have it gained up to like 20. So that's what it's at, right?